Hey guys, Happy Conscious Gal here, and I have some very exciting news to share with you, and it relates to why I have a massive beehive on my head right now. Because today I entered the 60s. I'm talking 60 kilograms. So for those of you in America or in England who don't use kilograms, basically 60 kilograms is 132 pounds, 70 kilograms is 154 pounds, and 80 kilograms is 176 pounds. So for us here in Australia, the difference between being in the 60s, in the 70s, and in the 80s is huge. So for my size and build, most girls would be in the 60s, somewhere in the 60s in kilograms. The very slim girls would be 61, 62. The heavier girls would be 68, 69. When I was in my 20s, I was about 64, 65 kilos a lot of the time, and I looked great. I felt really good. I mean, I still had abnormal fat on me, on my arms and my tummy, because, nothing gets rid of that except HCG, but I was basically pretty slim, and I felt great. And then, towards the end of my 20s, I started suffering from chronic back pain, really severe pain. I spent many, many years like that, living on painkillers. I couldn't exercise at all. There were a couple of years where I couldn't walk. So basically my metabolism went from being a very fit person to completely zero exercise, but I was still eating normal calories, very healthy food. I was always health conscious, but I wasn't moving at all. I mean, I was not even leaving my bed. So, normal energy in, zero energy out. You can see that would have damaged my metabolism. And if you've read Dr. Simeon's protocol, that's one of the examples he says when people put fat on into their abnormal fat cells and they can't get rid of it. And that's been what's happened with me. I've completely recovered from the back pain now. I discovered something called the Feldenkrais method, which is amazing. I did 4 years training in it. It completely changed my life. Now I'm slinky as a cat, completely free of pain, very free in my body. But even though I was able to exercise again and dance and play tennis and walk, and I have been for the last 2 or 3 years fine in terms of exercising, the weight just didn't come off. And I've been eating raw foods, I've been doing cleanses. I mean, I eat the sort of food that skinny, healthy people eat, real hippie food. And yet I still had all this weight on me. So, and I crept up through the 70s. I once the chronic pain set in, my weight went up into the 70s. I've spent the last 10 years mostly in the 70s, for a decade. And the last 2 or 3 years, it actually crept up to the low 80s. And when I was in Hawaii last year, I was 82, 83 kilograms. And it was just like, oh. I was eating mainly completely raw food. No sugar, no processed food, fruit, vegetables, all raw. People would be like that are skinny. So it was very frustrating for me. And that's why when I heard about HCG, when I read Dr. Simeon's protocol, it was just like, oh, that explains it. What happened to my metabolism? When I had the chronic pain, I had also been overweight as a child, so I obviously already had the abnormal fat storage problems with my metabolism, with the leptin and everything. Kept it under control in my 20s because I was able to exercise, and then in my 30s when I wasn't able to exercise, it went out of control. So I've been stuck up the high 70s, low 80s for quite a few years now, and so during this diet, it's been miraculous to see the numbers go down. I was 80 kilos at the start of P2, and it's slowly gone down, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75. And as it was approaching 73, 72, 71, I started to get really excited because I thought, oh my God, I'm soon going to be back in the 60s. I think of myself as a slim person. I mean, in my 20s, I was very sexy and I liked my body. I mean, yeah, I had fat on my tummy and I had fat on my arms because I always had abnormal fat stores from my teenage years, but I was basically slim. I was slim enough to, be able to wear sexy clothes and little dresses and jeans. And so I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in the 60s again. Anyway, I woke up this morning. After 30 days on this diet, I've gone from 80 kilograms, which is, I've got it written here in pounds, 176 pounds. I woke up this morning and I was 69.8 kilograms. Check it out! So that in pounds is basically 154 pounds. So that's 22 pounds of fat liberated. But the thing that's more exciting to me than that is I'm now in the 60s, 69.8. So from here, it's just pure clean sailing for me. Everything beyond this is a bonus. If HCG was taken off the market today and I stayed at 69.8, I look okay. I just went to a function today. I was wearing a nice dress. Yeah, there's still flab on my body, blah, blah, blah. I'm not perfect. But I can fit into normal clothes now. I can fit into an Australian size 12, which is an American 10, I think, or American 11, I don't know. I can fit into a lot of my old clothes. Not my clothes from when I was in my 20s. They don't fit me yet. But I can fit into, you know, clothes from my early 30s. I feel good about myself at this size. So from here on in, anything else is a bonus. If I end up at 66, 65 kilos, wonderful. If I end up at 62 like my naturopath and doctor think I should be at because of my bone structure and everything, they say I should be 62. To me it sounds very skinny, but so be it. If I end up at 59, so be it. It's all a bonus. Right now, to be 69.8 is like answer to my prayers. I feel like a normal, healthy person with a healthy BMI. My BMI has gone from 23.3 down to 22.8, so that's healthy, pretty healthy. I've gone from 39% body fat to 34% body fat, so that's getting close to normal range. And basically, yeah, I wouldn't wear a bikini at this size, but I look fine in clothes. So I wouldn't wear lingerie in public, but I'd wear lingerie in private. So, you know, it's fine. So as I said, for me, everything from now on is just extra icing on the cake. I know it's going to keep going because I'm going to do another couple of weeks on HCG, so who knows where it will end up. But at this point in time, I just want to express massive gratitude to Dr. Simeon and to my own higher guidance, which put me in Hawaii, where I ran into my friend who told me about HCG, and I'm grateful to my partner for helping me do all the cleanses and all the healthy eating I did for the 12 months leading up to this, so I haven't had any mineral deficiencies or hair falling out or any of that stuff that people get when they're not mineralized. And I just feel extremely grateful. And in honor of that, I have decided to celebrate the 60s in the best way that you can. Check it out.
That's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace. Walked out in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. It's a song of pain. Now I'm a believer. I'm not a case. I'm down in my life. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
So guys, that's my tribute to the 60s. 60s, I'm back. Woohoo! I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was hilariously fun. If, you know, God forbid somehow I end up in the 50s, which to me seems beyond possibility, I'm going to have to come up with a good costume. Anyway, until then, I'm going to enjoy the 60s. I'm happy in the 60s. I'm happy to spend the rest of my life in the 60s. I don't mind wearing beehives. Don't mind wearing long boots and short skirts. It's fun. If that's what it takes to stay in the 60s, I'm there. Alright guys, I'll see you soon in my next vlog. Bye!